Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. We are going to do some Pilates Flow today. We'll need our hand weights and a cushion, but not right away. We're going to get warmed up first, and we'll be bringing those into the picture about halfway through. So let's just start by standing on your mat. Scrunch up your toes a few times, just finding the bottoms of your feet. And then plant your feet down nice and solid. And put a little bend into your knees and just rock through your knees a little bit. Just waking up the knees. And just start to bring a little bit of thought to the center of your body, drawing in through your abdominals just a little bit. And then starting to slow your breath down a little bit. Reaching through the crown of your head, drop your shoulders down, squeeze your shoulders back. And let's just close our eyes for a minute. 2 long, deep breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale all the air out to the very, very end of your breath. And again, big breath in. Right to the top of the lungs. And exhale deeply out through the mouth to the end of your breath. Let's drop the chin to the chest. And then float the chin to the ceiling. Just gently waking up our body here. Floating the chin and dropping the chin to the chest. And one more time. Floating up. Coming back to a neutral neck. Drop the shoulders a little bit more down away from your ears. And look over your shoulders side to side. Trying to keep the head right over the shoulders. And just a couple more times here. Coming back to center. Form a little L shape with your arm and let's roll up and through our upper back into our shoulder blades. Just gliding those shoulder blades around on your back. Up to the ears, pull the shoulders back, pull them down, and let them round forward. And one more time backwards. And then let's go the other way as well. Squeeze them back, up to the ears, roll forward, pull down. Squeeze back to the ears, forward, and down. One more time. And letting that go, releasing the tension out of your arms, coming to a hip width stance. So just not too wide, but a little bit wider. We're going to start to come down into some laundry scoops, or we're going to squat down. Squat and scoop up the air and sweep the arms overhead. Squat and up. And once you find your rhythm, start to think about your abdominals. Put the weight in your heels. Checking in by picking up your toes. And just keeping your abdominals on as you move. We're just going to get a little blood pumping. Squat and up. Let's do 4 more. Push the floor away, stand tall. Keep your chest lifted. Last one, come down, come all the way up. And let's come into a big side bend to the right. Reaching over. Draw in through your abdominals. Keep your shoulders nice and square here. Just enjoying that stretch. Catching your breath. And let's come up and over to the other side. Nice big long line of tension from your elbow down the side of your body, maybe even into your hip, into your quad, your glutes. And then come back up. Let's go back to the right. And from here, I want you to take a look down at your right toes and then bring both your arms over to your right foot There's a micro bend in your knees, and we're stretching the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. You should feel your hamstrings here. Just breathing. And then coming through center, bend your knees quite deeply, and let's ragdoll up. Scoop in the belly, and come to standing, rolling your shoulders back. Let's go the other way, to the left. Nice big side stretch. Now looking down to your left foot, bring your arm down, both hands to the left foot, and just enjoy that hamstring stretch. And coming through center, let's bend the knees quite deeply, draw in through the abdominals, and standing up tall, rolling your shoulders at the top of that range. From here, we're rolling straight back down. Keep the knees bent quite deeply here until you can feel at least your fingertips on the floor, if not your full hand. We're going to bend quite deeply, like you're going into a squat, and then extend your legs long, lifting your abdominals. And bend, and extend. And let's do 2 more of those. Your head is heavy here. And last one. Reach your sit bones up to the ceiling. Bend just a little and draw up, scooping in the belly and standing nice and tall. Roll your shoulders at the top and step to the end of your mat. So we're just hip width apart here, or just slightly a little bit smaller. We're nodding the chin and rolling down. Grabbing onto your elbows and gently swaying side to side, but make sure those abdominals are on, supporting your lower back. And then just a couple more here. Coming to center, letting those arms drop. Nod your chin, yes. Releasing your neck, really nice and heavy through the head. And then shake your head no. We're walking out to our downward dog. Finding that nice triangle shape, reaching the sit bones, lift your abdominals. And let's pedal out the feet, just very gently. The calves can be really tight, especially in the morning. Let's just take our time with those pedals. Continuously pushing the floor away, thinking about your pinky fingers pushing into the floor. And just continuing to enjoy that length in the back of the leg. We're going to start to move between downward dog and a knee hover in all fours, okay? So we won't, if you have to, you can put your knees down. That can be the modification, but if you're feeling strong this morning, let's stay hovered in the knees, okay? Pause the legs, take a big breath in. Exhale, we're pushing through the legs to find an all fours position. Knees are hovering. Holding, 3, 2, 1. Push back to downward dog. You could pedal your feet if that feels good, just a couple times. Take a big breath in. And exhale, finding that all fours hovered position. We hold here. 3, 2, 1. Back to downward dog. And now from here we go all fours, hover. 3, 2, 1. Downward dog. Back again. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back to downward dog. And again. All fours. Hover. 3, 2, 1. Downward dog. We have 3 more. Coming out nice and square. Lift your abdominals. Reach your spine. 3, 2, 1. And back. And again. Hold. 3, 2, 1. And back. Last one. Coming out. We hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering your knees. Let's take a shell stretch. Untuck the toes, release your tailbone to your heels, and just breathe deeply. Awesome. We're going to come out onto your forearms now. We're going to start with some scapular presses, okay? So they're just this tiny little motion moving through the shoulder blades. We lower between our shoulder blades. We exhale, pushing the floor away, finding all of the stabilizers around our shoulder blade, and then we lower back down between the shoulders, and we exhale, push up. Tiny little motion, super effective in building strength in the shoulder. Exhaling up, inhale, gliding down, very small and controlled. And let's just check in with your abdominals, making sure that they're on. Also checking in with the shape of your neck, making sure it's reaching and not falling down. Lowering between the shoulder blades. You should be starting to notice these little muscles now. Let's do 4 more. Lower down. Exhale, press up. And 3. These can actually start to get quite tiring. And press up. Bring your abdominals with you. Last 2. Exhale, pushing down through the forearms and elbows. Last 1. And exhale, push up. Take a shell. Just notice all the warmth around the back of your shoulders, your shoulder blades. And we're going to come back out onto those forearms, bringing the right leg back nice and long, staying square in the hips. So we're going to be doing donkey kicks, but we're going to add a little pulse here, and this is what it looks like. So we'll be taking the sole of the foot up to the ceiling. Little pulse for 2, and lower down. So we go up, little pulse for 2, and lower down. Up, pulse, pulse, down. Now if we go too high, we're going to end up in the lower back. So just really try to keep the work in your abdominals and in your glutes. We push up, 2 pulses, and lower down. Abdominals are on the whole time, and we're pushing down through the forearms. Up, pulse, pulse, lower. We're just keeping those hips super square here. You should be starting to feel warmth right where your glute meets your hamstring. And lower down. Let's do 4 more. Up we go. Pulse, pulse, and down. Are you still in the center of your standing knee? And down. Last 2. We go up. And lower down. Last 1. Up. Pulse, pulse, lower down. Take a moment. Notice the heat in your right hip. And come back out to the forearms, reaching the left leg out and then bringing it up into the air, finding that nice bent knee. Think about putting your sole of your foot on the ceiling. Lower down, back up. Pulse, pulse, and lower. So nothing else should be moving here. We're just moving the left leg around. The abdominals are on, your lower back and abdominals are supporting the center. Neck is long. Pulse, pulse, lower. Shoulders should be starting to feel kind of tired from holding you up here. And down. Push it up. Pulse, pulse, and down. Now just check in. Are you centered in that knee on the floor? And let's do 4 more here. Check in with your shoulders. They're gonna start to be tired. Really push down through the elbows. Last 2. And last 1. And lower down, coming off the arms, taking a shell, and let's walk our hands off to the left. Enjoying a nice big side stretch. Come through center, off to the right. And then meeting me back in all fours one more time. I'm actually going to throw this pad under my knees. I'm starting to feel my knees a little bit. Make sure you protect your knees as well. We're going to be in all fours and we're going to be coming into a modified bird dog. It looks like this. We reach opposite pairs out. We stay here. We open them away from each other 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. And then we come back to center and we send the other pair. 3, 2, 1, and back through, okay? So find yourself square, dig those fingertips into the floor, hands are under shoulders, knees under hips, and really draw up and in through your core. Let's start with right arm, left leg. Take a big breath in and exhale those legs and arms out, and then reach them out for 3, 2, 1. Bring it in, switching sides. Reach out, left arm, right leg. Let's breathe. Exhale for 3. Inhale in. Exhale 2. Exhale 1. Come to center, switching it up over to the right arm, left leg. Here we go. Exhale wide. Inhale. Exhale wide. And again. Come through center. Send the other pair out. Here we go. Keep drawing up through the abdominals. Reach your spine long. We have 1 more set each side. Reaching out. 3, 2, keep breathing. 1. Come to center, switch it up. Everything else stays the same here. Last set. 3, 2, and 1. Come to center, check in. Are you still square? Do you feel like your spine is long? Can you find your abdominals? Awesome work. Sit into shell. Round your spine over your thighs. And we're making our way down to our tummy. Have your cushion nearby. All right, so settle in here. Wiggle around until your pelvis feels heavy and comfortable. And let your legs go wide. And if they want to turn out, let them do that. Okay. Our arms are going to be out square in cactus arms. And we're going to squeeze the glutes just a little here. Reach through your legs. So there's a little bit of life in the legs, anchoring you down. We're moving through the shoulders here. Big breath in. Your nose stays hovering. Exhale, we float both arms up. Stay square. Inhale, lower down with control. So just imagine you have wings and you're pulling your wings up and lowering them down. Exhale, float them up and lowering down. So checking on the rest of you, you still have that little bit of life in your legs. Your abdominals are still on. We're just working the back of the shoulder here, keeping the nose hovering. Exhale, float up. Inhale, down with control. And back down. You should be noticing the backs of your shoulders. Your shoulder blades glide together as we lift, and they go away from each other as we lower. And Let's do 2 more, floating up and lowering down. Last one, floating up. We're going to bring the head and shoulders up a little higher, straight into our full breaststroke. It looks like this. We exhale, dive down, reach your arms overhead. Inhale, sweep your arms up, pull them to your side, bend the elbows, exhale, dive. Inhale, lift the chest and dive. Inhale, sweep around. Exhale, lower. Now your core has to be on here or you're going to be feeling your lower back. Keep those abdominals lifting. Dive it down. Pull around, lift the chest, dive down. Keep reaching for the legs, lifting those abdominals, dive. And sweep through. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, dive. Inhale, sweep. Last one. Sweep around, lower your arms, lower your head, and just release all the tension out of your body. Rest your head on your hands for a second. Whew. Nice work, you guys. Now we're grabbing that cushion. You're going to bring it under your hips. So it's really going to go basically directly across your pelvis, okay? So throwing that cushion under and then resting your head on your hands. So your hips are just slightly elevated here. So while we're here just getting organized, really think about trying to keep the tension from building in the shoulders and the upper traps. It's a really tight area generally, so just constantly check back in and make sure your shoulders haven't crept into your ears. Let's bring the legs quite close to each other. They don't have to be zipped, but just bringing them in a little narrow. Taking a breath in and out, find your core here in this position. Exhale, draw your abdominals up. Inhale, they expand a little. Exhale, find them again. Next, we're going to be hovering the legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach through the legs and hover them up. Inhale, lower both down. Exhale, reaching them up. So it's up to you to find that line of tension in your legs. We're not going very high here. Exhale, reach through the legs and bring them both to a hover. Inhale, lower. So the whole time your abdominals are connected, supporting this movement of the legs. The legs are heavy. So we want to be in control of the center of that anchor at your center. Exhaling up. Like you're trying to make your legs longer here, reaching energy through the legs. If you're feeling your lower back, just decrease the height that you're lifting. Nice work. 3 more. 3, 2, big exhale. And last one. Lowering down, release the tension again, wiggle your hips. We're going to add on and make this a little more complex. So you'll be hovering those legs up. Once they're up, they're going to stay up, except for at one point where I'm going to tell you to lower them a bit, okay? So let's bring them back up to that hover. Now, exhale as you open them wide. Not too wide, just wide enough. Inhale, lower to tap your toes to the floor. Exhale, float them back up. And inhale, squeeze the legs back together. Exhale, open the legs. Inhale, tap your toes down while they're wide. Exhale, float the wide legs back up. And inhale, closing the legs. Exhale, open. Check your shoulder tension. I just caught my shoulders way up in my ears. Inhale, lower the legs down. Exhale, float them back up. They're still wide. Inhale as you bring them together. Exhale, reach them wide. Inhale, lower down. This is all about controlling these moves. Exhale, float them back up. And inhale, bring them together. Let's do 2 more rounds. Open, lower to tap, pull back up, and bring them in. Last one, reach them out. Lower down, tap, bring them back up, and come to center. Keep those legs up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Squeeze your inner thighs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that go. You should have been quivering there by the end. Little bit of a shake. And let's take a shell stretch. It's going to feel really nice to come into shell. Release your tailbone to your heels. Breathe into your lower back. All right, and we're coming up to our tall knees. If you need a cushion under your knees, make sure you do that. And grabbing your hand weights, bringing them over to you. All right, so grabbing onto your hand weights and bringing your elbows in. So what I want to talk about just really quickly here is we're constantly going to keep a little bend in our elbows. We're going to be flexing these arms up and pulling them back down, but the shape of the arm stays the same throughout, okay? So there's no bicep curl here. This is about your shoulders. Draw in through your tummy, squeeze your glutes just a little, and let's exhale, push these weights up nice and square, and inhale, pull them back beside you. Exhaling up, and inhaling back. Up, and back. Really squeezing your weights. This will take a few reps and you're going to start to feel all of those stabilizers in the shoulders starting to work. And if you're not feeling them, then you need to slow it down and really control these weights as they move through the air. Push it up and lowering it down. Let's do 4 more. 4, lower, 3, should be feeling it by now in that upper back and shoulder, 2, and on this last one we stay up. You guys are gonna hate me. We open, pull it in, exhale, open, pull it in, draw those abdominals in a little closer, open, and pull in. And pull in. We all should be feeling this by now in the upper back and shoulders. And in. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Bring them in, lower them down. Nice job, you guys. Dropping one weight. Let's keep the right hand with the weight, bringing your left hand to your shoulder. These are side bends. We want to go straight over and straight back. There's no rotation. There's no falling forward or leaning back, okay? So we're going to tip over, letting that weight pull you down to the right. Exhale, pull back up vertical. Tipping over, give it a moment while you're over there, and pull up. So we're letting that oblique lengthen, and now that top side oblique is pulling us back. Lengthen over and pulling back. Now you should be feeling this on this side oblique, the one without the weight. We go over, exhale, pull tall. Can we squeeze our glutes just a little? Support your lower back. Take it over and pull back. And let's go over 3 more times and pull. 2, big exhale as you pull up. Last one, we're staying over. Let's come all the way over to the right. We hold. 3, 2, 1, pull it up. We're doing that 3 more times. Back over, we hold. 3, 2, 1. Pull it up. And 2 more. Over you go. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Draw it up. Last one. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Pull it up. Nice work. Switching that up, bringing the left hand to have the weight and right hand behind the head. So let's just start to find a little rhythm here, but making sure you give it enough time in your side bend for that oblique to feel it. If we go too fast, you'll miss out. Going over, exhale, pull up. And now that you know what you're doing, let's focus on other things. Are your ribs and hips stacked? Can you feel your glutes on just a little? Is your head in front of your body or on top of your spine? And over. Exhale as you stand vertical. And let's come over here and hold for 3, 2, 1. Pull it up. And again, take it over. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Pull it up. And last 2. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back. Last one. 3, 2, 1. And bring it up. Nice work. I did those yesterday and my obliques are killing today. All right, you guys, let's come down onto our mat, bringing your cushion with you. And you're going to take that cushion and put it right behind your rib cage. Okay, so it's going to be right here behind the ribs. And it's going to feel really nice because you're going to almost be going, well, no, you will be going into a little bit of extension through your back. So this should feel good. Okay, and let's just hang out here and enjoy that. Let your hands rest behind your head. And just take a couple of nice breaths there. We're going to be coming into some flexion. So let's just scan through. You should feel your tailbone on the mat. Okay. And then there should be a space between your lower back and the mat, like a little gap because of the cushion, okay? Let's gently nod your chin, keeping your elbows wide. Flex up to look at your knees. We're not gonna leave this cushion though. We're not flexing way up into a sit-up. We're just coming to a neutral spine. And then we're lowering back into that extension with control. Exhale, flexing up to neutral. And inhale, lowering back down. So this is just awesome for mobility in the mid-back where we're all very tight. And let's just check in, making sure your chin is not resting on your chest as you flex up. Lowering down on your inhale and exhale, flexing up. You might feel like you start to get a little shake in the upper abdominals here as you flex up, because we're really isolating those upper abdominals. Exhale, flexing up, and inhale, lowering down. Let's do 2 more like this, and then we're going to add on. Lowering down, and again. And back, and on this next one, we're going to stay up. Flex it up, you should be able to see your thighs. We're going to hold that position and start to move the legs to tabletop. Alternating legs to tabletop here. The upper body stays the same, so we're not in a huge flexion here. We're basically holding a neutral spine, just gently trying to lift away from your mat or away from your cushion. And we're moving the legs. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and lower back down, releasing the head to the floor. We're going to come back up and do that again. Nod the chin and flex up. Find that neutral spine where you're almost going to lift off your cushion, but you stay put. And then you start to move your legs. Keep your eyes on your knees. Your upper abdominals should be starting to feel tired here. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering down and enjoying that stretch over the cushion. We're going to take that cushion out, and it's going to feel so nice to bring your back onto the floor. And we're coming all the way down onto your back and then into imprint. So imprinting the lower back and then bringing your legs up to tabletop. We're going to put that cushion between your knees and lower legs to hold. So here we are, you're imprinted, you're square. Your hands are going to come back behind your head, and we're going to do some obliques with the legs staying still. So the upper body is the mover here, and the legs are just holding in this square position. Let's flex up, looking at your thighs, and then we twist to rotate. Exhale. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist. And center. Twist. You want to feel your sternum turning. You're rolling through the mid-back. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. You're holding onto that cushion. The legs and lower back are staying exactly the same, and we're just moving through the upper body. Think about drawing your shoulder to your knee. Big exhale. And last 2. Come to center. Lower the head down and open the arms nice and wide. Palms are up. Push your arms into the floor. We're going to draw that cushion towards us. Use the lower portion of your abs. And inhale, send the legs out vertical. Exhale, pull them in. Inhale, back out. We never want to bring the entire tailbone off the mat, okay? So your tailbone should always have at least a portion of it on the floor. Exhale, pull in. Really recruiting the lowest part of your abdominals here. And out. Exhale, pull in. And out. And let's do 3 more. 3. Less is more here. 2. And last one, pull it in. And send it back out. Taking that cushion and then giving out and giving your knees a hug. Let's roll on your lower back. Circle your knees. Give your lower back a little massage. And then let your legs go out long and do a big stretch. Reaching through the body. Let your legs reach, your rib cage release. Probably feel a little warmth in your hip flexors. Big breath. And we're going to turn all the way through to the front of to our tummy. And we're going to stretch the tummy a little bit. So let your arms come over your head and plant them down into the floor. And then we're just going to come up into a baby cobra or sort of a swan. So you're going to lift a little higher than normal. We will take the rib cage off of the mat. And we're just letting our abdominals stretch out a little bit here. Making sure this feels okay for your lower back. If it doesn't, then come down lower. And then gently push through to your shell stretch. Nice big breathing. Let's open the thighs, let the head rest, and just breathe really deeply into your lower back. See if you can notice the lower back expanding when you breathe in. Great, and then taking a cushion under your knees if you need one. We're stepping into our low lunge. Let's go right foot forward. And find some length in the front of your left hip. And once you've found that, coming up and over into your side bend, just really try not to release into your lower back here, okay? You want to keep that left glute on a little bit. Almost like you're tucking this back hip under you, just a little tiny bit. And then from there, let's extend the front leg. Bring your hands down to touch the floor and find a hamstring stretch. Stay really square in your hips here. We want to keep the chest lifting. Feeling the back of the leg. Digging this front heel into the floor. And releasing that, let's switch sides. Left leg comes forward. Find that length in the back, in the front of the right hip. Stay tall here and come up and over with your side bend. And just keep breathing through into your side body, into your rib cage. And then extending that front leg, bring the toes up to the ceiling. Dig that heel into the floor and pull back a little bit, finding hamstring. And just breathe into that back of the leg, right up at the attachment near the sit bone. And gently releasing that. Let's come to seated. Sit on your cushion if that feels good. And then bringing your legs to cross-legged. We're going to do both sides. So find yourself cross-legged. If that doesn't work for your knees, just stay long in the legs and let's walk out finding a forward fold over the legs. And you're going to feel some tension in your glutes, especially after those donkey kicks. And I just want you to breathe really deeply here, like you're trying to inflate your lower back and create space for your hips and your pelvis. Every exhale, feel everything soften and everything expands with your inhale. And gently walk your hands back. Switch your legs, whichever one is in front goes the other way. One's going to be much tighter than the other, and then just make your way out again to that forward fold. And breathe into areas of tension. Can you just shake your head a little bit, letting your neck be long? Taking one more deep breath, walking your hands back up. Coming up nice and tall, roll your shoulders. I had put in single leg bridges today, guys, but we didn't make it there, so they'll be around next week. But you can thank me now. All right, have an awesome day, you guys. See you. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day.